Millionaire dad sees black construction worker feed his blind daughter and changes his life forever. It was a chilly Saturday morning in New York City, and the world bustled with its usual chaos. Horns blared, boots stomped puddles, and steam rose from subway grates like the breath of the city itself. But amid the clamor, a man named Darnell moved quietly. Darnell, a tall black construction worker with calloused hands and eyes that had seen too much hardship, had taken an early break from his shift on Fifth Avenue to eat the sandwich he packed that morning. Just as he unwrapped it, he noticed a small girl sitting alone on the bench near the park's edge, fragile, pale, and holding a white cane. He hesitated for only a moment. She looked no older than 7, her curly hair wild from the wind, her small hands fumbling through her backpack with confusion. Something about her struck him, not just her blindness, but the soft, brave way she sat in the middle of a noisy world as if she belonged. "Hey, sweetheart," he said gently, kneeling beside her, "you okay?" She startled, turning toward his voice. "I'm waiting for my dad. But I dropped my lunch. I can't find it." Without a second thought, Darnell offered her half of his sandwich. "Peanut butter and banana. Not fancy, but I made it myself." She smiled in his direction and accepted it with both hands. "Thank you, Mr. Darnell," he said. "What's your name?" "Emma." Darnell sat beside her while she ate, telling her stories about the buildings going up around them, painting them in words vivid enough for her to see. She laughed, and it lit up his whole morning. He didn't know that someone was watching. Across the street, inside a sleek black Escalade, Gregory Langston stared through his tinted window. A self-made millionaire and CEO of Langston Development Corp., Gregory was in the middle of a call when he caught sight of his daughter, his blind daughter, talking to a construction worker he'd never seen before. His first instinct was alarm. He opened the car door and strode toward them, his crisp suit and polished shoes a stark contrast to Darnell's dusty boots and reflective vest. As he approached, he slowed, confused by what he saw. Darnell wasn't bothering Emma. He was listening to her, laughing with her. Feeding her. "Emma," Gregory said softly, trying to mask the emotion tightening in his throat. Emma turned and lit up. "Daddy. Darnell helped me when I dropped my lunch." Gregory extended a guarded hand. "I'm grateful." "Thank you." Darnell stood, brushing off his jeans. "No thanks needed, sir. I've got a daughter around her age. Would want someone to do the same." Gregory nodded, his mind spinning. A man like Darnell, working class, sweat-stained, had just done more for his daughter in 5 minutes than any of the high-paid caregivers he employed. "Do you work for Langston Construction?" Gregory asked, already knowing the answer wasn't yes. "No sir. Independent contract. Just trying to stay busy, keep food on the table." There was something in Darnell's eyes, dignity, strength, humility, that Gregory couldn't shake. A memory surfaced, his own father, once a janitor, who taught him that worth wasn't worn on a wristwatch but carried in your actions. That evening, Gregory sat in his office, staring out at the skyline. He couldn't forget what he'd seen. In the middle of the city's cold steel and ambition, he'd witnessed a quiet moment of humanity that moved him more than any boardroom victory ever had. The next day, Darnell was back on site when a man in a suit approached. It was Gregory, holding a sealed envelope. "I want to offer you something," Gregory said. "It's not charity. I saw something in you yesterday, something this world needs more of. My company's starting a new mentorship program for skilled tradespeople. Training, benefits, and a shot at leadership. I want you in." Darnell stared at him, stunned. "Why me?" Gregory looked him in the eye. "Because when no one was watching, you showed the kind of character money can't buy." Tears welled in Darnell's eyes, but he blinked them back. "Thank you, sir. I won't waste it." Weeks passed. Darnell threw himself into the program with everything he had. He rose quickly, his work ethic and natural leadership impossible to ignore. One day, during a staff luncheon, Emma stood up beside her father, cane in hand, and addressed the team. "My dad always taught me to be strong," she said, "but Darnell taught me that kindness is strength too." The room erupted in applause. Darnell wiped a tear from his cheek as Gregory placed a hand on his shoulder. That moment became a turning point, not just for Darnell's life, but for the entire company culture. Gregory began hiring more workers like Darnell, investing in communities instead of just buildings. What began as one act of kindness had become a movement. Because sometimes, the smallest gestures, a sandwich, a story, a moment of compassion, can change everything. And in a city of millions, one man's selfless act reminded them all that no matter how tall the skyscraper, the heart of humanity is built from the ground up.